Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hey peeps, how are we? So as you can tell, I'm using natural light today. It's starting to, weather's starting to pick up, so a little bit of sunlight's coming in, finally. So I'm going to try my best to keep them to natural lighting, because I just feel like it complements the colours of all the stuff, you know. So as you can tell already by the title, today I'm going to do 50 facts about myself, but actually I'm going to do, I think it's 32 I have. But yeah, I have it down as 30, we'll see if we'll throw in some, but yeah. I was inspired to do this video by Ellie. She did like 50 facts about herself, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I thought that'd be fun for you to get to know me. If you are a new follower, hello, and this is a good video for you to start watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for weekly videos. Okay, number 1. I hate people that drink tea in a glass cup. My dad's mum, my nanny, she has glass cups for drinking tea out of it, and I'm like, that's not right. It's supposed to be a mug, and it's meant to have a pretty unicorn on the front of it. One thing I hate is rude people. Extremely rude people. Like, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. And even like manners as well, that really gets underneath my nerves. You know, even if you're like late and people just don't apologize, I'm like, apologize. Like, honestly, I pick up on little things. I hate vinegar so much. I get so angry when people eat vinegar around me. Like, you know, if I'm in a restaurant and then you're gonna eat your vinegar beside me, I am gonna give you the death stares, because I absolutely hate the smell of it. I just think it's so rude to eat vinegar around people. Oh, and another thing I think that's kind of gross, when people lick their fingers and like use that to change the page. What if I'm gonna go touch that page and I have all your disgusting mouth disease all over the magazine? Like, no. Don't do that. Just try open the next page without licking your fingers. Okay, 5. I hate when people touch my hair. I don't mind when people are like, oh, your hair looks lovely. But you know, if people are like really like doing this, I have like aphobia, because when I was a kid, I used to have like really long hair, like down to like my bum, like really long, and people used to come over and play with it, and then it gets so greasy, and then I have to wash it, and then that was a pure effort and a half, washing and drying it. So yeah, don't touch my hair. Another weird fact about me is whenever I lie down, so say if I'm just like lying down, and then if my head goes a little bit too like that way, I get instant dizziness. Like, I mean, I'm about to get sick, and like it's not okay. Like, whenever I get my eyelashes done, and if she gives me a pillow and my neck kind of goes a little bit more up than my head, I just like, it feels like I'm falling off like a mountain. Like I get so dizzy from it. This is another funny one. When I was younger, my mom used to always come home at 6:20, and if it was like 7:20 and my mom wasn't home, I'm like, she's dead. Like, I honestly think she died, because I'm like, she comes home at this time every day and she's not ringing me, and like, where is she? I would have to ring her and be like, are you alive? When I was younger, I actually wanted to be an architect, back to the day. I don't really like taking medicine. Like, you know, I don't mind medicine if I'm actually like really sick, but you know when people are like, oh, I have a headache, and then they take like 10 paracetamols. Like, no, I'm very old-fashioned in that way. I just feel like years ago they didn't have that and they had to overcome it, so I like to just teach my body that you don't need medicine to always make you feel good. It's just something I do. Number 10. Right, this is a bit of a weird one, right? It's just something that I believe, and I'm probably going to get comments being like, what the hell are you talking about, Naomi? I'm looking at my phone because I wrote down like loads of like little facts about myself. I believe in, you know, when you have a fear, so, you know, if you're like afraid of like sharks, or like, these are what I'm afraid of, sharks and like spiders and stuff. I have like a belief that like in your past life, you're afraid of sharks because you got ate by a shark when you were in your past life, or you're afraid of spiders because you were a spider for so many years and then you hate being a spider and then you just keep dying and come back alive. And like, I'm afraid of the ocean as well, like, and like sometimes I feel like you died in the ocean. That's why you're so afraid of the ocean, because I just feel like, why does everyone have different fears? So I just keep thinking that it's to do with your past life. Does that make sense? Probably not. I hate when people talk to me and then they either speak over me or when I finish what I'm saying and they just be like, oh yeah, you know the grass is green. They're like, I didn't speak to you to not get replied. Like, rude. All my friends slag me over this. I hate butter, hate milk. But I will drink it. I'll drink milk if I have like the, you know, the milkshake Nesquik, or I don't know how you pronounce it, in the milk. And butter, hate it, but I will eat it on toast. Is that weird? I think so too. I used to play a lot of sports when I was a kid. You probably don't believe that because I'm like very like girly and makeupy. But like I used to play like Ga. Ga's like an Irish sport. Obviously if you're not Irish you won't know what it is. It's just like our, I don't know, tradition. It's just like our traditional like game. It's kind of like a mix between like basketball and football in a way. Yeah, I used to do Ga, cross country, basketball, football, dancing and badminton. That was all in 1 week. I am terrified of the ocean, like terrified of the nighttime ocean. Sea during the day I'm not too bad with, but like ocean, terrified of it. Like I used to go on cruise ships with my family and I could not go at the side of the deck at nighttime. I was terrified. I am the biggest sore loser you'll ever meet in your life. If you win against me, which is probably unlikely, don't come near me because I am the biggest sore loser ever. Another little fact about me, my mom is only 36. She was only 14 having me. So we're very, very close. I've got 2 dogs. They are 2 huskies and their name is Zorro and Zeus and I love them so much. I believe in karma. When you do something bad, like bad things will happen to you. And if you do things that are good, good things will happen to you. This is why I always try my best to be as nice as possible to people and try to do a lot of good things so I get good things, you know. When I was about, I think it was 8, I used to love drawing. Like I used to draw all the time when I was a kid. It's the only thing that kind of shut me up. I entered a competition. It was the Texaco colouring competition and I drew a Tom and Jerry drawing. I didn't win. Right, number 20. I always close the the sticky thing to my baby wipes. If you use my baby wipe and you don't shut that, I am gonna go ballistic at you because all the air gets in them, then they get dry as a cactus and then they're just not useful. When I was learning how to tie my lace, every time I tied my lace, I used to sing the SpongeBob tying your lace song.
It's called the loop.
The loop.
You gotta take the lace in each hand.
Over again. Take the loop-de-loop and pull it down. My shoes are looking cool. Yeah, I love SpongeBob. Every time I go to bed, I watch at least a minimum of 5 YouTube videos. I have a really big fear of white vans. Not shoe vans, I mean actual car vans. I just feel like kidnappers own white vans. I used to have a pet cat called Felix. He was a stray. I took him in and he was so cute. But then he ran away. One time I went out on a night out with all my friends. I was only, I think, 17 at the time. Even 16, I think. And I had no ID, so I used my mum's ID. And I remember I handed it to the bouncer. And he just laughed. And then he was just like, no, not tonight. I was like, sorry, I better go now. When I was a kid, I was a little bit of a menace. I used to break my whole body up. I think I went to the hospital 4 times. I have a cut, I think it's this eyebrow. I have a cut right underneath this eyebrow. I fell and glass slit my eyebrow. I dislocated my kneecap because I was jumping down to my auntie and my kneecap just fell out of place. I cut my whole knee open because I jumped onto the grass and there was glass in it and like gushing blood, and I only bought new white socks that day and they were full of blood. Very upsetting. And the next one, I fractured my arm. I was playing on my roller skates and I fell on my arm and I went like bleh, and went up to my mum. Mum didn't believe me. Mum sent me to the crash next day and my arm was like a gigantic fat arm, and yeah, my mum didn't believe me that I fractured my arm. I am an only child to my mum, but I have 2 half-sisters from my dad's side. They are Nicole and Abby. Nicole is, how old is she now? 16, and Abby is 11. Yeah, I think so. I am the biggest perfectionist ever with makeovers. Makeovers or me doing makeup on myself, I always find something wrong with all my makeovers that I do. I have 5 tattoos. I have palm tree on my ankle from Ibiza. I have this thing that literally looks like Sharpie. I got it in the wrong place. I should have got up more. I have my new tattoo that I got on my arm. Have the one here. I have, this is really hard to do. Have pajamas on. I have this one here, and then I have one. And then I have one on my thigh. Okay, this is number 30. I like everyone. If I don't like you, you must have done something really bad to me, because literally, I like everyone. Like, my friends give out to me all the time. Like, you know, if they're slagging off, like, I don't know, Kylie Jenner or something like that, I'd be like, she seems like a nice person. Like, they actually give out to me about it. Like, I just like everybody. Right, I've got 2 more to add in just because I think this is just so me. If I'm ever making food, I make food for myself, I could feed 4 people. My portion size is so bad. I'm like, I will just keep adding in, and then I'm like, oh, it's a lot of food you got there. When this happens to me every single day. When I have so much to do where I'm like, I need to go to the salon, I need to go to the post office, I need to go to the gym, I just end up staying home all day, because I'm like, that's just too much effort of trying to figure out where to go first, what time to be there. I'm really bad at timekeeping. Like, I don't know how long it takes me to get somewhere. Everyone will agree of that if they know if they know me very well. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in my next one.